are now in Bjarnarhöfn. So I just say to you, welcome to Bjarnarhöfn.
Well, thank you very much. This is a shark museum, and you're going to show me how it,
Yeah,
it's made.
Bjarnarhöfn Shark Museum is a family museum.
Okay.
And in the museum, we explain to you how my family used to fish and cure the shark for, my family has been doing this for around 400 years.
Okay.
So this is a very old tradition for
Wow.
my family and for Iceland also.
Wow.
And cured shark or kæstur hákarl in Icelandic, that's one of our oldest traditions in preserving food in Iceland.
Great. Well, I appreciate you showing us your traditions.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to come to Iceland.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome. We are standing here at my grandfather's shark fishing boat. This is this boat is very old. His first registered 1860, and the name of the boat is Síldin. And Síldin in English would be like herring. And this boat has been inside here at the museum now for around 18 years. And before this boat came inside here, this was the oldest boat in Iceland that was still in use.
Wow.
And my grandfather, he was 19 years old when he bought this boat. And then he had been working on this boat at least for 4 years. So, and that was 1929. And he used to catch sharks and other fishes in this boat. And they were 7 in a crew. And when they went out for shark, they used hooks like this. The chain had to be at least 2 meters. And they put a seal meat or a horse meat for a bait on the shark. And this was maybe 100 or 200 meters deep. And they could feel when the shark was testing the bait. So they start to tease him until the shark swallows the bait. And then they pulled the shark up to the boat. And the Greenland shark, the one that they were catching and we are using, the Greenland shark, he doesn't have no bones. He only has cartilage.
Right.
So they took the shark up to the boat, they knocked him on the head, and they cut a hole on his head, and they took his brain out, and they pulled the circle from his spine.
Wow.
The thin line in your back.
Yeah.
They had to get it all out. It needed to, from the tail and out. Because if it would break on the middle way, if they only got like half of it out, then the rest of the shark was alive.
Oh, okay.
So they had to paralyze the shark.
Wow.
So when they went home, they had maybe 3 or 4 sharks on each side of the boat. So it was very hard to have a banging shark on the side of the boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Icelanders, they used to hunt this shark, the Greenland shark. They started hunting it for the liver. And the Greenland shark, he has a very big liver. And the liver is somewhere between 10 or 20% of his weight.
Wow.
And Icelanders, they used to export the oil from the liver to Europe. And in Europe, the oil was used like for fuel and for lighting in lamps and mostly for street lighting. Wow. So from 1400 to late 1800, shark liver oil was our biggest export. So that's how we got ships to come from Europe to Iceland with supplies, and they went home again with the oil.
Okay.
And there was a lot of demand for the shark liver oil in Europe. The shark liver oil is much cleaner than the whale liver oil. The whale liver oil left a little soot on the glass of the lamps while it was burning, but the shark liver oil was much cleaner and left hardly no soot on the glass of the lamps.
Right.
So the shark liver oil was used in fancier neighborhoods and indoor lighting for rich people. And the oil was also used for soaps for rich people.
Okay.
So but the Icelanders, they had a problem here in the beginning when they were fishing these sharks, because when it's fresh, it's toxic. The Greenland shark is the most toxic shark in the world.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. So for the first 200 years when they were fishing them, they had to throw the meat away because it was, they couldn't eat it. People just got sick or died of eating it. So in the beginning it was thrown away. So, but it is around 400 years ago when they discovered this process to use the meat and to get the meat edible. So, and today what we cut the meat down to 5 or 10 kilo pieces, and we put these pieces in wooden boxes for fermentation for 6 till 9 weeks, and after that we hang these pieces up for drying for 3 till 4 months. So the whole process is close to 6 months.
6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of wood? Is it a particular kind of wood?
No,
No,
not.
doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's just like today we do the fermentation in these wooden boxes, but before that Icelanders, they used to bury the meat in the sand, in the beach, or where the rocks did form some sort of a form, or they made these forms out of rocks themselves.
Okay.
So new times, new methods.
Right.
So it's just very important that these that the boxes has some cracks on them, so the liquid from the meat can leak from it, and also for oxygen to get in, because it's very important in these in the fermentation that the meat has oxygen to be able to ferment or to be able to cure.
Right. Great. Well, I would look forward to seeing how this is made.
Yeah. Next, we just take a, maybe we go and have a look at the drying house to see where the pieces are hanging.
All right. So this is the drying house.
Yeah, this is then the second stage.
Okay.
And yeah, here the meat stays for maybe 3-4 months, and it loses here somewhere between 50 and 70% of its weight. It loses a lot of weight in the drying. So the drying process is not to get the meat like hard dried, it's just to get a better texture in the meat, to get the meat stiffer.
Okay.
And when the meat gets a certain texture, we take it down, and today it's eaten like a snack and for a special occasions and all sort of parties and gatherings, big and small.
All right.
So let me see. I'm gonna take this piece here and I'll bring it closer to you. I'm gonna put it here. And so this is a piece of the fillet. And so I'm gonna cut the meat. So you see, in the drying, the piece, he gets this dark crust around it, but he still has this beautiful white color at the inside.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna
white flesh.
Yeah, make your slice.
Thank you.
I'm having one also.
Yeah. That is definitely something like I've never tasted before.
Yeah.
But it's still very briny from, like the salt water. The texture is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something almost like a tuna you'd get with sushi.
Yeah. Yeah, for the texture.
Yeah.
But
it's smoky. It's nice. It is nice.
It's not bad.
No.
And
I don't see why people have to chase it down with alcohol. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And that's not a very old tradition in Iceland. To use it's like 60, 70-year-old, if we call it a tradition. So I like, my opinion is, you have something that has a 400-year-old history, in Iceland used to save people. It was often the only food people
Right.
had on the table, and you want to ruin something like this with an hákarl. And
And so when they're finished here,
yeah,
what do you do with the shark meat?
either it's sold,
Mhm.
or I put it into a freezer, because I'm just looking for like a certain you know, a certain texture, and
Okay.
this is perfect.
Okay.
And we don't want it much drier than this.
Right.
And
Because then it gets kind of like jerky in a way, right?
mm,
If
like
it's too dry.
yeah, we don't want it to go there.
Yeah.
We want it we want it like this.
Yeah. It's nice. It's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing us
Yeah.
this
You want another
process.
piece?
Sure. Thank you.
Here you go.
How much of this do you eat in a day?
Mm. Well, for me, I almost eat this every day, because I'm almost working with it every day.
Mhm.
Either in the factory or in the museum. But normally, some Icelanders only eat this once a year. That is in late February, late January and February, when the thoroughblood season is in Iceland. The thoroughblood season it started around 70 years ago, like this food feast,
Mhm.
where Icelanders come together and they eat all of these traditional foods.
Okay.
So some Icelanders only eat it at these events,
Mhm.
but a lot of Icelanders have this um, uh, like take this with them. Go when they go camping, when they have some friends coming over on a Saturday night. People also have this like you are celebrating your birthday, and you, like let's say it's a big birthday, like a 50 or something.
Yeah.
And so you rent a room and you invite a lot of people, and you have the food somewhere, and then somewhere in the corner or somewhere you have the shark, and maybe some dried fish. And the dried fish in Iceland is what we use, like you use jerky.
Okay.
And so usually most of the fun and most of the laughter comes from the area where the shark is, because he brings out the like I don't know, a lot of joy, or fun. But there are still a lot of people who put this into their skyr. They have like a Sunday skyr. Like in Iceland, we have this skyr, which is very similar to yogurt.
Yogurt. Yeah.
And so for their Sunday skyr, so they put shark and some cream out on it, and yeah.
And the Greenland shark, is it is it plentiful?
Yeah, the population is huge. I think he has no problems, but he lives very, very deep.
Okay.
Like let's say when my grandfather was fishing it, he was the Greenland shark was down to maybe 100 meters,
Mhm.
and today he doesn't come higher than 250 meters.
Hmm.
And it's very common that the trawling boats are catching him sometimes in 800 or 900 meters. So he
Wow.
lives very, very deep. So the Greenland shark, he's a deep ocean, cold ocean shark. And the main temperature where he lives in, it's usually between 4 degrees and -4. And the coldest that are known to him is in -7. So he can live and survive in very, very cold ocean. And like one of the toxic in them is a chemical that is similar to an antifreezer. So his meat or his blood doesn't freeze.
Interesting.
And the Greenland shark, he's a cartilage shark, and like other cartilage fishes, he has different kinds of kidneys than other fishes. So he has part of his urea in his system. And so these are the main toxins. And then also he has more salt in his system than other fishes. So when he's breathing, he's collecting salt from the ocean.
I can taste that.
Yeah, and like let's say when he's diving down, his body is losing salt, and when he's climbing up, his body is collecting salt. And all this works together and is a part of his cleaning process. So he doesn't get no diseases or no illness of no kind. And these chemicals, that's also the reason why the meat gets fermented or cured, not like rotten or putrefied. Like with the fermentation, if we follow temperature, oxygen, and all that, it turns this way. Like this is not rotten. This is just cured.
Correct. Right.
So
much like we do in America with steaks and and pork and things like that.
Yeah, like it's done with a lot of food, and like the changes of for the bacteria that we are doing with fermentation or for the curing, we are changing. It's very similar bacteria when we are when we are making cheese or moldy cheese.
Right.
It's a similar bacteria change.
Okay. I love blue cheese. So.
Me too. And here in the drying house, we have a room for somewhere around maybe 40 sharks. When it's full, we have it here in 4 levels. And I'm not sure how much is here now.
And you say a shark is cut into 5 pieces?
No, 5 or 10 kilo pieces.
5 or 10 kilo pieces.
So we can have like 30 pieces.
Okay.
Or yeah.
Wow. So you could have a lot of shark hanging in here.
Yeah, we can.
Well, now you said is the season where people have it in most demand. Are you staying busy right now?
Yeah, this like here in Bjarnarhöfn, we are the biggest one who are making or processing this meat in Iceland. We are the most known one, and we have been doing this the longest. So yeah, we are pretty busy. Now we are sending a few tons from us in shark for thoroughbloods all around Iceland, supermarkets, fish shops.
And do you sell much of this outside of Iceland?
We sell a little bit of it to Greenland.
Okay.
But I think that if I would start, and it would not be a problem to start to export it to other countries.
All right.
So I think that's not a problem. Like now, I only get 60 or 80 of these sharks a year that we process here. That is enough for the market that we have here in Iceland.
Right.
So that's why we haven't been putting no work in. But sometimes I get some questions from elsewhere, from shops in Europe, if it's possible, and maybe one day, who knows?
All right. Well, best of luck. It's amazing your family's been doing this for so long, and that you are keeping an Icelandic tradition alive. I appreciate that very much.
This is for me. This is I love it. In the museum, explaining to people how we do it, why we do it, and to be able to live on a place like this, to live here and work here and make a living, it's fantastic.
It is. It's beautiful. I mean, you look out, the ocean is this deep blue, and you have the mountains all around you. It's really something else.
It is very nice. It's very nice.
Well, thank you again for your time.
Thanks for
Thanks
coming.
for inviting me.
Thanks for coming.
And Guys, when you come to Iceland, do not be afraid. This is delicious stuff.